There will be no planned episode this week. Planned episode this week. There's no planned episode this week. Let me explain at the end of this video. But for those of you new to the channel, my name is Sean and I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. And for the rest of you, I apologize for the clickbaity thumbnail and also the video title. I wanted to catch your eye because there's some really important updates here. And of course, I'll get into why there's no episode this week, but it's for good reasons. First of all, I'm doing okay, despite what the thumbnail might suggest. Kind of. I've been met with some misfortune lately. Just yesterday, somebody's water tank cover from the top of the house, which is about 4th floor high, tumbled and crashed into my car as I was driving out of my driveway. So that was a really crazy freak accident. It smashed the glass window and I'm fine, and I think the car will be fine. The company insurance will cover it. And the neighbor actually apologized profusely. He felt really bad. He wanted to meet with me and he sent me a box of cake. But I didn't have the time to meet with him because I was busy on an international call and I was also editing this video. So I told him, do not worry, it's not a big deal. It's an accident and he's got family and kids. So I don't want there to be any financial burden from him. And anyways, my car insurance will cover it. So I just wanted it over with. I'm past it and there's no one to forgive because it's really no one's fault. But I did remind everyone in my neighborhood group chat to please check your water tank cover to make sure they're securely sealed. But anyways, beyond that, there's some really interesting upcoming stuff happening. First of all, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Jakarta time, and your time zone will be on the screen somewhere. So be sure to tune in onto YouTube if you want to see me live to diagnose some sick or troubled plants on the Plantingo app. And you still have time to submit it. If you want to submit your troubled plants, simply go to Plantingo app and then go to the live chat feature, and then over there you can just send your plant photos, your troubles, and I will get to it during the live. And then next up, on the first weekend in June in Singapore, I will be joined by Mr. Kunzo at the Singapore Planters Market. If I'm not wrong, I'll be able to come with Mr. Kunzo to tour Gardens by the Bay, although I have no confirmation whether I can film that journey with Mr. Kunzo, but it would be so amazing to be able to walk through the park with Mr. Kunzo and see how he reacts to plants and maybe get some of his commentaries on some of the styling or some of the species in there. And an even bigger news, in June the 13th to 15th in Bangkok International Exotic Plants, I managed to get Yan, Sydney plant guy, and Irene from Leafing Around to come together at the event. So there will be a talk show / Q&A on a Saturday, I believe that's the 14th of June, in Bangkok, where the three of us will gather in person and we will, catch up, and then we will take questions from the audiences. The last time Irene and I did that in Manila at Plant Convergence, we were filled with tears of joy, of course, and we laughed and we hugged our fans. It was a very emotional, but it was a very life-changing experience. And I have a feeling that the Bangkok one, with Yan being there, he's such a phenomenal person. I've met him in IAS last year, and Irene has never met him in person before, but the three of us, we get along really famously. So it might be a bit of a riot, it might be a bit chaotic, and expect some really fun shorts, reels, and videos. So I'm super excited for that. And also that happens to be my birthday week. I can't ask for a better celebration, really. And believe it or not, something even bigger is happening in July at the Big Plant Expo in South Carolina, the city of Columbia, where me and a ton of influencers are going to come together at this plant exhibition. We've actually put out some reels and promotions out already, so check out our platforms to see those. But we will be there, so that's kind of insane. I'm excited to see what they're growing out in the US. So there will be some coverage there, a full episode where I tour the plants, and I'm just excited to be back in the US in general. So thank you, the Big Plant Expo, for flying me over in July. And right after that, my sister's getting hitched in Denmark. So we will actually come to Amsterdam first. We're going to land there. Of course, I asked my family to see if I can film some planty content in Amsterdam because they are the horticulture hub of Europe. And I haven't figured out what to film there yet. So if you would know, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment down below. I want to know what you guys want me to film in the Netherlands. And I'm actually waiting for someone to invite me to the IAS. No one's approached me yet. Palm Street sponsored me to come over last year. And this year, IAS themselves might ask me, but I really have no confirmation of that, so maybe someone can let me know if they want me to come to IAS and to sponsor that trip. That would be awesome. Now, this contradicts my excitement a little bit, but I do think that there's a little bit too many plant shows happening now around the world. And I feel like it's becoming difficult to catch up on a lot of these shows, and sometimes they're happening so frequently that the value of the plant become a little bit devalued just because we see them so often. I mean, you see the Monstera white lava once or twice, you're still wowed by it, but you see them 10 times and suddenly it feels like just a common plant. And also, one thing about the plant trend is it is happening so fast. Things are moving every single week. There's a new mutation, new exciting plant. At some point, it becomes not so exciting anymore when new discoveries come around. And also the problem is we as collectors, or we as influencers, or someone who reports on trends, we can't really keep up on them. We haven't even got our hands on a specific plant because we're still saving up for it, we're still waiting for it in the market. And then something else has already come and replaced that plant. So it's just moving at a fast pace where the value cannot be appreciated, whether it's the monetary value, but also the ornamental value of the plant just felt underappreciated. So I do wish that we can slow down a bit with the hybridization and everything, do more selective breeding, selective marketing of the plants, and we can enjoy the hobby a little bit more without feeling like we need to catch up with the next best thing. Like we feel like the finish line just keeps moving further and further away. That's just my 2 cents about this issue. And I'd want to compare the plant trends with sort of the way we move from the TV and movie industry to the streaming services now. Back then, we all like the same plants, and just like when we watch TV shows like Friends and we watch the same movies, we like Spiritus, we like the variegated Monsteras, we all collectively like that OG plant, that wow plant. And these days, I feel like we're in the streaming world where there's a lot of streaming platforms and everyone's going in their own little journey. There's of course the crazy Anthurium people, there's the Alocasia people, there's the variegated Monstera people, there's the Hoya people, and it's become very divergent. And for someone like me who actually loves everything, I do observe all these branches branching out further and further. I'm a little bit hoping that we can come back together, find some common grounds in this plant hobby, and have something to talk about in common and things like that. But I'm seeing that divergent, just the same way we do with politics and all that. People just keep getting swung further and further away from each other. So again, that's how I think about the market. I don't have a solution, and this is not a complaint. This is all just an observation. Let me know in the comment down below what you think about that. And I do, once in a while, get some comments online, and they're usually in caps or they're angry. And I don't want to use the I word, but I feel like these people are a little uninformed in terms of what plant trends are. So the message is that they think people are artificially driving up the plant prices, causing them to inflate and, cheating people's money and all that stuff, but it's really not that simple. You can watch that in detail in my plant pyramid episode, which I'm going to link up above, or you can type it in the YouTube search bar. The plant prices are not driven artificially. First of all, a lot of people are finding new species or new mutations when you propagate plants, when you clone them, when you cut them, tissue culture, there's sometimes mistakes in their replication that causes really fantastic mutations. And these are extremely rare. So the supply is far lower than what the demand is. So everyone wants that plant, and there's just not enough supply. So the prices are high. And these discoveries are happening more and more frequently, and the plants are just getting more and more beautiful. Sometimes it's also hybrids. So people actually took the effort, hybridized tons of plants, and out of them you have thousands of seedlings, and you still have to selectively find that one superstar that you want to market, that you think is gorgeous, that you want to stamp your name on. So these plants are going to command a high price for now. If you wait, 2, 5, or 10 years, all rare plants will eventually come down to a common plant price. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what keeps the market going. The trend, the high prices, the speculation, that's what really drives the market. We need that. These hybridizers, people who found these mutations, will work even harder to find these plants. And in the future, these beautiful plants will have really, really strong ornamental value, like in terms of landscaping, in terms of like just hobbies, green walls. We'll have all these fantastic plants to have in the future at an affordable price. But for now, do not complain about the prices. They're going to be high on some plants. But if you want to look at rare, beautiful plants, just look for the COVID era plants because those are super cheap. They're probably under $10 now. And they're still beautiful, don't get me wrong. But they have become common plants by now. So there's a cycle, there's almost like a wave. So you gotta ride the wave, or you can just wait for the wave to be over and catch it when it's at the lower point. You can always play the game too. You can ride the wave at its highest, buy a rare plant, quickly propagate it successfully, and then make a return out of it and buy even rarer plants. So this is how you can up your plant game, you can level up without spending too much money. Some of these people who are buying all these rare plants, they had decades of experience. They've propagated and sold hundreds of variegated Monstera from a single plant just so they can get that next, like, Monstera lava or whatever. So you need to level up. So as a beginner, don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel the need that you need to buy this like tens of thousands of dollars of rare plants. You don't. There are a lot of options and there's a lot of ways you can enjoy this hobby. So enough ranting. I want to explain why there's no episode today. So if you notice in my channel, the edits have become more and more insane. My production has become more and more epic. The video length are not short either. In case you don't know, I'm a one-man show. I plan the episodes, I plan my visits overseas, I film everything myself, and then I also edit everything myself and I upload all the content, and then at the end I have to market the content. YouTube has changed its algorithm completely. In the past, you film something with your phone, you slap on a thumbnail, and people will view it. And these days, your thumbnails have to be super catchy, super competitive. And then normally on a Saturday, my episode will come out. Sunday, I would just work on next week's episode. That's not true anymore. These days, on Sunday and Monday, I would have to work on shorts. I have to chop up the previous videos into shorts and then, push them up in the next few weeks. So you're gonna think, why bother with the shorts if it takes so much time? Well, first of all, if you don't ever upload shorts, YouTube will bury your channel. I've noticed that when I consistently post my shorts every 2 to 3 days, YouTube will promote my videos to you guys, and a lot of my older episodes will have tons of comments, which means that people are actually watching the old episodes. Conversely, when I'm traveling and I haven't posted a shorts in like 2 weeks, my channel has barely any comments. It's really, the algorithm is pretty punishing and they're really trying to go head to head with TikTok. And I don't blame them. I do want YouTube to succeed as a platform, and this is one way that they can push the content creators to compete with TikTok. So we are actually working harder and we're not getting more pay. So things have been stressful, things have been hard, my production value is going up, but don't worry, I take this challenge with a smile and I accept this challenge. It increases my skills and I'm constantly upping my editing skills and my storytelling, better music, better cuts, better B-rolls and things like that, so I can tell the story better. This is just how we should be as humans. We should grow better and better every single day. But that being said, this week I'm editing a crazy episode. Now, I say that about every plant show, that it is like this is the best plant show, this is an amazing plant show, but this truly is insane. Every few minutes in this next episode, you will see a plant that you've never heard of before. Even I had my mind blown. So it was a plant show in Wuxi, China, filmed last year. There's a ton of rare mutations, hybrids, and just amazing rare plants out of China. And this is the first time in my channel that I've ever covered a China plant show, because China is pretty elusive. It's got its firewall and its social medias are very disconnected with the rest of the world. So in that episode, I literally divulged everything. I went booth to booth, and I speak fluent Mandarin, by the way. So I was able to communicate with the vendors, which is also another reason why this edit is slow, because I had to transcribe everything from Chinese to English in that episode, and also have to convert all the prices from Chinese yuan to US dollars. And yes, there will be prices on the screen to show you how much some of these plants cost in China. So that's gonna be a freaking good episode, and I'm really excited, but it is taking a lot of time to edit. So I figured that putting out this PSA episode and editing it right away will make more sense for this Saturday, because I can actually get it done on time. Whereas that episode, there's no way I can make the Saturday upload. And guess what? When you miss an episode upload, YouTube punishes you. So we're stuck with this video that is hopefully fun and interesting. Let me know in the comment section if you want more videos like this, where I share more of my personal updates and challenges and things like that. Although I don't think that's going to happen very much, because I hate talking about myself, and I really would love to just talk about plants, show you some cool plants. And one more thing, I do want to take this opportunity to give you a preview of what episodes are coming up. Fairchild Tropical Garden, there's a beautiful episode. It's probably around 3 hours of footage. So I don't know how long I'm going to cut it down to. There's a lot of wonderful botanical knowledge shared in that episode, a lot of interesting plants that we've never thought of before. Some of them have really, really strong implications for the horticulture market in the future. There's a New York City episode. I visit a cacti grower up in an apartment in New York City. That's fantastic. And then there's also a wonderful plant shop in Brooklyn with tons of beautiful cactus in terracotta pots. It's a very cinematic shop, and I can't wait to show you that. There will be a ton of Manila and Davao episodes also filmed last year, including a bromeliad nursery, a Sansevieria nursery. There will be a Floy exhibition. It's an Indonesian plant show that was filmed in the last December. And these days, the Indonesian plant market isn't as vibrant as before, so we used to have a ton more plant shows, and this year I believe there were only 1 or 2 shows. So there's that happening. And I visited Bu Ida's garden, and that's actually not far from where I am. She has a fantastic garden and a beautiful philosophy on growing that includes growing food for ourselves, that has a garden that attracts local butterflies and insects to come and pollinate and help with their migratory processes. She's got such a beautiful mind, and I can't wait to show you her garden. She's also grown some really interesting exotic plants in there. And then there's also going to be a Singapore garden show filmed a few months ago, and also a wonderful alocasia tissue culture lab in Bangkok. There will be a plant convergence exhibition episode, Pinto Art Museum, which features the Filipino endemic plants. And then actually next week, I'm going to Yunnan in China. And it's a family vacation, but I did ask for 2 days off where I could film anything I wanted. So I do have some local guides show me around some growing facilities there, because Yunnan is a tropical, ornamental, growing city in China, and they do export and things like that. So I'm excited to see what they are growing over there. It's also got an amazing, crazy flower market that's like vibrant, that's massive, that's chaotic. So I hope I have the time to visit that flower market. And then of course, in between, I'll sneak in a few home care and propagation video, including, I know, a highly requested updated potting mix recipe video that's gonna be filmed sometime next week, and I'll be editing that on my travels. A ton of exciting things are happening, not only with me traveling this year, filming new things, but also the 20 or 30 episodes that are pending to go live that I have not yet edited. But there will be an episode every week, I promise you that. And I'm working my hardest to bring you the best content. Do comment down below to let me know what kind of content you like. Also, if you want to support the channel financially, you can do so on my Patreon, patreon.com/SeanFromOnlyPlants. There's a few options there per month. And also you can join as a YouTube member. Simply open this from any desktop, and then next to my channel name there will be a join button, and that's for like a small cup of coffee a month. And I know that a lot of you guys are having tough times. The economy is not doing so well. I'm terrified by what I see in the news every single day. There's a lot of geopolitical instability, a lot of economy problems, and it's the end of globalization as we know it. Every country for itself. You know, just by you watching these videos, it really helped me out a lot. With all this traveling and also my equipment is getting outdated by the minute. I currently work out of a laptop that's bought in 2022. So if something happens, you know, it breaks down or whatever. So I'm a little bit in a tight position here, but I'm doing well otherwise. And I do hope that for those of you struggling, you know, financially, mentally, physically, or whatever, I hope that you guys will pull through and you will do well in this world that is becoming more and more chaotic and more unstable. I wish you guys well, and I will see you guys in that crazy new episode next week. Bye.